Shalom, family.
Shalom.
Hey, family. We want to hop on here and before this testimony start of our sister Tequila, we felt we had to come here and speak.
We had to.
And give a brief introduction of what you all are about to see, family. We just wanted to say we appreciate all our other brothers and sisters who've done testimonies.
Yes.
But this testimony here is so powerful, family.
Very powerful. Very, very powerful.
And then we felt too that we had to say something because we want to let our sister know that you are the reason why we inspired us. Yes.
Yeah, you inspired us to.
Yeah, number one. But
yes.
You, because of your testimony, this is why we are opening up our platform for people to share their testimonies. Because of your testimony, you and Sister Abigail were emailing back and forth, and you heard her testimony.
Yes.
And you were like, "This is so powerful."
Yes, very, very powerful.
Well, go ahead. No, and it's amazing how YAH works. It's incredible how YAH works because after her testimony, we started hearing other testimonies of other people, and this is before we ever mentioned about people submitting testimonies to us. We was like, wow, all these different testimonies we're hearing. People need to hear this, and it all was sparked from Sister Tequila's testimony.
Yes, so we thank you.
Yes, we thank you
very much.
And it just shows how YAH works, family. It shows how YAH works. And then you're going to hear in her testimony, which we want to jump into right quick. But we see how YAH put people in our lives because you're going to hear her talk about her sister in YAH, how they came across each other's path.
Yes.
And a lot of times we hear from people, well, people not listening to me, people not receiving the truth. Well, you're going to hear her testimony. That's why we always say just keep planting seeds because you will never know what will happen. YAH's going to do the rest. This is what we always say.
Just be a light.
Yep. YAH will do the watering. Just be that light. Just plant that seed. And just because of her sister who planted the seed in her, this is what you all are about to see, family. And speaking of our sister, the sister who introduced her to the name and to the truth, she is going to share her testimony also, family. It's like their story, it's hand in hand. Their stories are combined. And they wanted to do the interviews together.
Right. But it was so powerful.
Right.
It's like we had to allow them to do it separate because they both have amazing testimonies. But you'll know who we're talking about because we'll show her later in the video. Right.
So they both have powerful testimonies, but we want to share Sister Tequila's testimony, and we're going to share her sister's testimony sometime later on during the week. So we want to share that with you all. For it is, you know what? I was working on editing it this morning, family. I was crying, and I don't cry.
Sister, you made Brother Rasha cry.
I was crying listening to it. So I had to bring a towel while we were shooting this video. I'm like, I don't want to break down crying on camera.
Trust me, I did too.
Yes, but it was so deep, family.
Heard about it.
We just want you all to support our sister. She's a poet. She's going to share her poems.
Yes, beautiful
poems. She's come through a lot, family, and she's definitely going to share that with you all. And we just want to say this to you, family. How, Sister Tequila, how you say that we inspire you and we're vessels of honor. We just want to say that what you've done, what you shared is so bold. We're so proud of you.
Very proud of you.
You are about to set the captives free, Tequila. You are setting the captives free through your testimony.
Yes, sister.
What's the scripture?
It says in Luke 4, verse 18 through 19. The Spirit of Yahuwah is upon me because he has anointed me to preach the good news to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives and recovery of sight to the blind. Yes. To set at liberty those who are oppressed, to proclaim the acceptable year of Yahuwah.
Sister, you are about to set the captives free.
And who the Son sets free is free indeed. Remember that scripture, sis.
Yes, indeed. So let's stop talking. Let's get into the interview. We hope you enjoy it, family. All right. Shalom.
Shalom, Sister Tequila.
Shalom. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. It's so nice to finally put a face with the emails because we've been going back and forth. So it's
Yes,
so
thank
nice.
you.
Yes, yes, yes. I want to mention I received some of your beautiful poems. You are a great
Yeah,
poet.
thank you. I have one to start off with, like
Oh,
my
beautiful.
very first one that I wrote when I was incarcerated. Um, I just been writing 2 years now. I
Really?
started writing on my birthday when I was 44 years old. I'm 46 now.
Really?
I started. This is the poem, the exact poem I wrote
Okay.
on my birthday.
Okay.
And I'll start with that because it'll go into what we're getting ready to, talk about.
All right. Sounds great.
I started with that. I was reading Exodus 15 and 20, and it said, and Miriam, the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, took a timbrel in her hand, and all the women went out after her with timbrels and with dance. Born out of shame, born without a name. Mother, father, where are you? No answer. I was born out of shame, born without a name. Who remember me? No one. Who heard me cry? No one. Born out of lies, born to bear my mother's pain, born out of shame. Could I have a hug or a look past stare? I guess they forgot that I'm even there. I sing, I dance, I smile, I cry. When would they recognize that I'm even there? Shame is what I'm born of. Name is just the same. Where do I belong? Born out of shame. Never had a name. Whenever I get happy, life shoot me a stare. Stay in your shame. You belong there. When would someone care? When can I share? Never, I guess. My name brings shame. If I don't call, they will have no reason to feel better. They won't have to face the shame. No name. They look right past my tears. Do I pray? Am I something to Yahuwah? That's the answer I like to hear. What if the Heavenly Father called me to come near? I have no name. I am ashamed. Pain is all I feel. Never had love. What is that? Born to bear shame, born without a name. Today is my 44th birthday. No call, no name. Sitting behind bars, bearing all my shame. Death, you are too late. Now I have to stay full of shame, with no name. One day they will look for me and I'll be long gone. My Father in heaven promised me a name that doesn't bear shame. Until then, I'm born out of shame, born without a name.
Oh my goodness. Whoa. That was deep. Oh, that was deep. That was beautiful, Tequila. Oh
Thank
my
you.
goodness. That was so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Now that's really been inside of you all along.
Yeah,
All that you
it's
share
been
has always
it's
been
been
in you.
a long road, you know.
Right, right. Oh, well, I thank you so much for um, like allowing us to have you on our platform to share your testimony because it's the purpose of this is to glorify Yahuwah, to show
Yes,
what
it
he
is.
has done in your life. And we just like when you told me about your testimony, I was like, oh my goodness. I wonder if she realized how powerful her testimony is. Your testimony is powerful. It is powerful. It really is. And when I tell you, like, all praises to Yahuwah, because when I read it, it touched me. It touched me deep, deep. I'm like, if only she knew how powerful it is. It
Right.
really is, sis.
I just I don't feel like anything I went through was for me. It was
Mm,
for somebody. It was for other people because as a young child, I guess I was around about 7 or 8, and my mother took me to church all the time. We stayed in church until I used to pluck my eyelashes out, and by next Sunday they grow back, and I pluck them out again. That's how long we stayed in church.
Wow.
And one day I was like, well, my Sunday school teacher, we had a program, and she asked me to do, who do I think God is? You know, what is God to me? I got in front of the whole church, and I couldn't say anything. I was like, I don't know. I sit here, but I don't know who he is for real. So when I went home that night, it's like yesterday, I remember I said, and I said this a lot throughout my life. I said, I know his name now. Yahuwah, use me. You know, use whatever you can use me. Don't let me just be anything. And all my life, I felt like I was nothing. I felt like I was just nothing, and I didn't feel like I was anything till this day right here with you. I feel like I'm something, but the something that I feel like is to give. That everything I went through is not for me, so that makes me something to Yahuwah, which means I have to be something, and everything I've been through has to be something to somebody else. So, with that being said, my life is not my own. My story is not my own. My my walk of life is not my own. Nothing is my own. Everything that we go through is for somebody else. We can't be selfishly and say, I don't want to go through this. I don't want to go through the rain. I don't want to take my hood off and walk through the rain, but you have to. If you're going to be a vessel like you are, you and Brother Rasha are vessels of honor. I would love to be where you at some point. And my sister, the things that she does, I wouldn't be here sitting right here today if the Yahuwah hadn't put her in the position to receive me at my lowest when nobody else would. Family, nobody else would. And he turned. Did I tell you the story about me and her?
No, go ahead. I want you to share whatever you want to share. Go ahead.
Um, I was I was coming out of prison, out of jail again. It was like 8 years ago. I was just coming out of jail again, and I had to go to anger management programs and stuff like that. And a friend of mine, and he's passed on now from drugs, and he walked all the way down to my house to borrow a pair of my shoes. And I'm like, you're not wearing no, you're not wearing messing up my shoes to go see nobody. So I said, well, if she that pretty, I'm going to, you know. So I'm like, put my shoes on. I'm going with you, you know what I'm saying? We going together. She that pretty. So we goes to the program, which it was a place for drugs, alcohol. I want to call the name because it helped me. Okay. It's called A Plus in Plymouth, North Carolina.
Okay.
And they really help people regardless of what people think. They helped me. So I get there, she's there, blah, blah, blah. But she wasn't there for 3 weeks. I went 3 weeks before she was there, seeking out a relationship that the father said, no, it ain't happening. But I didn't know that. So I'm seeking out this relationship for a woman that's a woman of Yahuwah and don't even know it. Finally meets her. She runs the program, actually runs the anger management and the drug part. So I'm going there really just to see her. But then I start learning and learning. Then one day there was an episode where I broke down because I had been through so much, and I broke down in a group, and that's when we first started talking or whatever. And she told me, she said, Yahuwah told me to tell you that that she will use her, that he will use her to help me. Right, that was exactly what he said. I have to get it right. I'm nervous. I'm so
Go ahead.
sorry.
No, that's okay. Take your time.
She said to show his love through her, because I couldn't see nothing but physical bodies and physical people. I was totally addicted to looking at women and everything.
Right.
And when she said that, I was afraid because I grew up in church and I knew better. So
Right.
we became sisters after that. It didn't become what I thought it would become. It became sister. Literally, we are sisters. And so many times people accused us of things. No, we became actually sisters. Sisters. So I jump to that to jump back to. I have to say this about my stepfather because there's so many situations, especially in the South, like that, and I forgave him. I don't want to drag because he's dead and gone now. He died actually last year, about in October, I believe. But I think it was September, a month before that, or a month or two before that, I went to my sister's house, where he was laying at all this time, because he stayed. He had a stroke, and he was like that for 3 or 4 years before he died. He couldn't talk, couldn't move, couldn't nothing. All he could do was look around. And my heart, even though through everything, to see him like that, just everything just went out the window, like still a soul. Father, what can I do to make it all right? You know, because we all make mistakes, and he didn't have to apologize to me. He didn't have to because he couldn't. It was no time. So if you have a chance to apologize or make things right, you should do that, because time is not something that is given. The Father Yahuwah does not have time. And I was standing over his bed. He was in a hospital bed. And I looked down at him, and he was looking straight in my eye like he wanted to say something. I said, I forgive you. I said, I truly forgive you at this moment. Like, I'm not mad anymore. I'm not sad anymore, because you had to do what you had to do for me to get where God wanted me to be. I'm sorry, Yahuwah wanted me to be. So don't think that what you didn't affect me, but Yahuwah did it to help me. So a drop of blood hit I had on all white this day, all white. I had on a white coat, white and red. I remember I had the white and red coat on and the white jeans and a white shirt, and blood dropped. I don't know, it dropped on my coat, and then it dropped on my jeans. Now, mind you, there's no blood anywhere. It came from up. You know, I wish I had those genes. To this day, I would show them to you. There
Wow.
was no way at all it could have come from him. It was the blood of Yeshua washing this situation clean, washing the blood of the Lamb. I promise you it was.
Goodness. Hallelujah.
And
Mm.
I was like, Yeshua, what, what, what have I done for the honor of this?
Mm.
You know? Because it says in the word, we is just filthy rags.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep. All of us.
Uh, are we really worthy?
Mm.
It
No.
said even in the word, people that give away everything they have to serve Yahuwah,
Mm.
we still are filthy rags.
Mm.
We can't even compare, you know?
You all right?
So
You all right?
I'm,
Wow.
I
Wow.
thank him for
Yes.
all that I've been through because I had a really rough drug run.
Mm.
And all my life has been drugs, sex, and money. All my life. I have a son that me and him really doesn't talk. Thank Yahuwah that his grandmother raised him in the church. Very good drum player. Um, Damon Holly Jr., I love you, DJ. And we don't get along too good, but maybe one day he can forgive me. I just have to say that. And I'm gonna get back to the drug run.
Okay.
I can remember smoking, crying, and praying
Mm.
at the
Wow.
same time. I prayed over my pipe. I prayed over my drugs. Lord, don't let it kill me. Father, don't let it kill me. And I do have a poem for that. When I realized that
Mm.
I who the enemy was,
Mm.
I was able to stop. I wrote this in rehab. Well,
Okay.
let me see. Yes, it was rehab. It was after jail. This is after jail.
Okay.
My worst enemy.
Mm.
Looking into my enemy eyes, how he breathed lies. His breath in the morning smells and is dry. He smoked all night, still holding the pipe, still wanting more. I hate him, so I walked away and slammed the door. Underneath my breath, I speak sharply and boldly, something he always ignored. Look at his house, full of trash on the floor. Then there's a knock at the door. He opens, of course, more dope and more coke. He fiends even more. Spent his last dime, something I do all the time, but to him time makes him blind. So he stinks all the time, ashy lips and teeth that he grind. Looked in the mirror at my worst enemy and the reflection was mine.
Mm.
Mm.
Wow.
Well,
Whew.
you see, tell her
Deep.
how I locked up to get you.
That was deep.
I got locked up
Mm-hmm.
on this last drug run.
Mm.
Um I went to me and my sister has a house together and I went to the house because she wouldn't let me back in. And let me tell you how snakes, rats, literally snakes,
Mm.
rats and roaches was crawling all over our house from a demonic entity that lived in our house where she couldn't even come out the bedroom. We have killed about 4 or 5 snakes in the house. Literally, but they wouldn't harm me. They was only trying to get at her. because the entity was in me, you know? And to see she's been in the closet and seen a home full of rats, mice everywhere, snakes everywhere. Everything was dem it was I can remember being in the kitchen cooking and a snake laying beside the refrigerator. And I'm a petrified of snakes. But I wasn't scared of this one. You know, it didn't bother me. I just called my nephew to could you come down and kill it, and that was it. That's not me. I'm totally scared of snakes, mice, and everything. So I leave and I go and stay across town at the trap house is where I was living, not taking a bath, not being clean, washing up at the gas station.
Wow.
So one night I said, I'm going back home. It's my house too, you know? So I go back to the house and I knock on the door and I ask my sister, I said, come out, I need to talk to you. Because I wanted to come in and, you know, but she wasn't having it. Because I had denounced the Father. I said, there is no God. Just earlier that day, I said, there's no God and I don't care nothing about it. You know, I remember doing this, but it was not me. So I knock on the door. She said, well, hold on. She closes the door back. I take some crowbar and beat on the door, beat on the windows, you know, trying to break stuff. It's funny how I remember it because I didn't remember it for a while because I was so high on drugs, pills, alcohol, crack, cocaine. I was high, too high to even record. You know, I couldn't control myself. So she calls the police. The police come. They said, you know, you have to leave. Just leave for the night. Blah blah blah. I said, no, I'm not going anywhere. So I can remember fighting the police, like, and this is around the time where they was killing people, the cops. But Yahuwah had favor on me that they didn't harm me, not physically or anything. I was giving them a run for their money because I couldn't feel no pain. All that had left me, emotions, pain, all of that was no more for me. I was spiritually dead. He couldn't even work with me if I stayed out in the street. I was dead. I was dead already. The only thing that was living on me was the physical because everything else was dead. So when they locked me up and I went downtown, they locked me up or whatever. It took a couple of days, but finally it was a small jail, so nobody was in there after that. I was in there by myself for like 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
I was in there by myself, and the Father worked with me. Only thing I could read was a Bible. I started reading, and I started reading on that third day. I started to write, and I have a poem for that.
All right, come on.
It's for I have like 38 tablets for the
Wow.
last 2 years.
So you was really writing.
Yes, I
All
write
right.
at least 2 or 3 poems a day most of the time. I
Ooh.
have a book that I've written, The Poet That I Am.
All
So
right. The poet that ooh,
yeah. So I'm
amazing.
trying to get it published now. So I'm trying to
Yes.
really get the money to get it published. So I just sell little things to try to get it published. Okay,
You better
the
get it
poet
published.
I'm trying to.
All right.
The poet that I am. The poet that I am. I put words together as Yahuwah guide my hand. Some won't understand, but nevertheless, I stick to the plan. trusting the poet that I am. In and out of words like a loving romance, a shadow of my hand as I write to understand the poet that I am. Rhyming words like quick and sand, my poetry is like a friend, writing so he and I can make amends of the poet that I am. Blowing your mind like words of style, writing words I wonder how. There's a message in my method, there's a journey in my message. The only way I'm not rejected, the poet that I am, everything won't be accepted. Right and not to be defined. I feel I will be approved in my time. The poet that I am. I walk with pen and paper in my hand. I am God, Yahuwah's plan. The poet that I am.
Hallelujah. Wow. That is
Well,
beautiful.
I don't know how much time we have.
Go ahead.
We're
What
still on time.
Yes, yes, yes. You share what you I remember like at the beginning, so that let's just I was thinking like at the beginning you mentioned your step dad, but
Yes.
a lot of people who listening probably won't know what you're referring to. So like if you can share, just a little bit, just like
Oh, okay.
what you want to share about that so they can kind of understand the beginning.
I was molested by my stepfather um for a while, and he ended up going to prison and doing his time. So I was 9 years old when it started, and up until I was about 11 and a half, 12. I had a baby at 12 years old that did not make it. Um, so I don't really want to go too far into that because he's gone now. And I forgave him, but the pain is there. And I know that if somebody is listening to this and you've been in that situation or are in that situation, there is a father that sits high and looks low and can change your circumstance. Tell somebody after you let him know. Ask somebody, because I didn't even know it was wrong. So I ended up asking a friend, "Do you sleep with your dad?" And they looking at me like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Do you sleep with do your dad do this and do that?" And they looking at me like that's not normal. And I'm saying, "Okay, I kind of know it's not normal, but I mean, it's what happens, when your mother don't do the job." Because
Mm.
that's what I was told. I
Right,
was
right.
young. I was only 9 years old. I don't, know all that. Only
Mm,
what was told to me.
right.
So I I say that if you're going through that, please tell somebody. It's not normal.
Mm,
It's not normal for them and it's not normal for you.
mm,
And it changed my whole way of life because I ran so long from men. I didn't
mm,
want this situation, or I wanted too much of it.
mm,
Like, this is what I'm supposed to do for him. Boom, boom, boom. This is what I don't want to do him anymore. This is what I do for her, you
right,
know? So
right.
I was stuck in between. I went to counseling, here and there.
Mm.
I've been in the institution maybe about 21 times, a mental institution.
Wow.
So,
Really?
you know, I stayed in, did a lot of institutions. I did about 8 rehabs, um, about 15 detoxes. My
Mm,
life is, believe it or not, has been institutionalized. I'm
Really?
46 years old, and at least 30 years of my life has been institutionalized because I started getting institutionalized at 19 was
Mm.
my first time being in an institution.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Wow.
yeah. I had my son at 18. I wasn't stopping for that.
Mm.
I figured out I didn't want him to be bothered with any of that type of stuff because I ain't know how to love.
Right. Right.
You know, I
Right.
don't know how to coddle you and make you feel like my son because for one, you're a boy, you
Right.
know, and I know that sounds very crazy because he's a boy or a son. I think I would have dealt better if I had a daughter,
Mm.
but that's what led me into the gay lifestyle.
Mm.
And I started dating women from the age of 19 to 30, 30 39, I'll say,
Okay.
because I was still looking at women and stuff. I just haven't been in any relationships. I kind of stopped
Mm.
at 39. I had a couple in between episodes, but no relationships after
Okay.
39. So 44 was my stop point for everything. I cold
Mm.
turkey the drugs, and jail helped me. I'm
Mm.
sorry, I have to say it. If I hadn't went to jail, I wouldn't be here talking to you right now. They would have
Mm.
been throw dirt on me a long time ago. A friend saw me the other day. He was like, "You look so much better. I saw you in the grave, just like you see this." I was hit in the face and it hasn't went away yet. Out on the street. So that's my permanent love mark.
Right. Right. Well, right. 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 Part of your
That's my
testimony.
reminder. Yeah,
Mm.
that's my reminder right there. Like, wake up.
Mm.
I see
Right.
it every day. It ain't been nowhere yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm.
I dated a lot of women.
Mhm.
One woman that I used to go back and forth, she passed away.
Mm. Wow.
Um, she was a very good friend to me, regardless of how things went.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wish, we died. When she died, we was enemies.
Mm.
Um, we was no longer friends,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna leave that at that. You
Right.
know,
Right.
but
Right.
I have a lot of mental illness. They said I'm They said
Mhm.
I'm
There you go.
schizophrenic.
There you
I'm
go.
schizophrenic. They said
They are right.
I'm
That's what I'm talking
bipolar.
about. Mm.
They said
Uh-huh.
I'm depressed all the time. They said
Mm-hmm.
I need medication.
Mm.
They said I wouldn't be where I'm at right now, but Yahuwah
All right. What he said.
says take. He said take your medication, but it ain't what it looked like.
All right.
Because sometimes I gotta have my medication to calm me down. And with
Mm.
that being said, I have a poem for that.
Okay. Go ahead.
It's called Confusion.
Okay.
I was sitting there thinking, started to pay attention. I started to realize my position. They slowly getting rid of me. Death is intentionally. COVID is an industry. Religion is offending me. Money is just paper to me. I don't believe nothing the government is telling me. I see dead people, no, honestly. Maybe someone's proud of me, or maybe it's just curiosity. Look like they judging me, or is this all just what I see? None of it refer to me. No one believes in me. My signature is forgery. I'm not really inside of me. This beast, it continues to breathe with me. Look at my future, I see tragedy. My past can't put it behind me. This isn't what it has to be. This life ain't seen the last of me. It's like this world is blasphemy. I don't know. Stop asking me. These voices in my head keep harassing me. It's really loud. It's blasting. Please. Then a calm came over me. My new meds is relaxing me. My mind settled down. I'm half asleep. This is a part of me. This is my mind in me. The manic inside of me.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Awesome. Awesome, Tequila.
Okay, I just take questions now.
Okay. Okay.
I got into the
because I can't tell it.
yeah.
I can't tell what you saw. Only you could tell what you saw, and that was the beginning of it.
Okay. My I take questions. I'm gonna take the questions.
Okay. Well, I guess you can tell us what, let me see. I'm trying to see if you answer that, because some of them you've already answered. When it came to the truth, like, how did you come to that, like the actual names of the Father, and like where, like the religious part, like did you ever go back into a church? Or I'm talking about like when you started, like when things started looking up and getting better, did you ever go back, or how did this
I
happen?
did. I went back like 3 Sundays.
Mm,
Everything's been threes for me the last little bit, but I went back like, well, maybe more than three. I went back, yes, I did.
it did.
And I couldn't find the truth. I knew that the truth wasn't there because I had already found it. And
Mm,
when you go back to eating vomit, it don't taste as good as it did
mm,
when it before it went down. When it
right.
comes back up and goes back in, it don't set well. You
Mm,
know? It don't
right.
feel good, don't taste good, don't smell good.
Mm,
So my sister introduced me to the name Yahuwah and some different platforms as well as yours. Yeah, she introduced me to the Way TV. She introduced me to what was the other one? Well, she introduced me to about three or four more, but this one, I'm not saying this just because I'm on here with you, but I relate better.
oh,
It seems more
yeah.
down to earth, and you ain't too far above where
Mm,
Yahuwah has put you, my
oh,
vessel of honor.
oh,
So
oh,
that's how I got into it. My sister got into it first, and then she pulled me in.
oh,
And
that's a heart.
I've been learning Yahuwah, Ruach, all of that from your show, from her. I even ended up buying the book to learn the words. So, and
Right.
I have her nephew Prince. He's me, him, and her. I call us the three kebabs.
Mm,
We're all watching your show, and he's teaching us because he's more advanced than us.
wow.
Prince, love
Hey,
you. He's
oh,
been in it for 36 years, and I call him my
really?
husband. He's my
Oh,
husband. He's gonna be my husband. I hope so.
oh, claim it up. You said it's your sister. Wait. Who is Prince again? Who is he?
Prince is my sister's nephew.
Oh, her
That's
nephew.
Leah's
Okay.
nephew. Yes, that's her
Oh,
nephew.
okay. So he's
Yeah,
in.
he's been in the walk for 36 years now with Yahuwah and saying, the right terms and studying. He knows Hebrew almost fluently. So he's
Really?
teaching us Hebrew. He's teaching us Hebrews out of the ciphers.
He more teaches us like who we are.
Yeah, and he's starting us now on who we are as Israelites.
All right.
So
It's,
yeah, I take my study from him, you, and it's another show I watch. So his name is I don't know if I should name,
I
but
mean,
yeah.
it's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you. Whatever you want to
Yeah.
share. Wow.
But
I want to say this. You mentioned at the beginning, you said that you looked at us as vessels of honor. But I want you to know that's how we see you. You're a vessel of honor. You're the
not
vessel of
quite
honor
there.
as well. So you're included in all of this because look at where you come from. Look at what you're doing now. You are walking in that.
Oh, I can only give it all to Yahuwah, Yeshua. I cannot say that I did this walk without him carrying me through it. Because it's just no way. It's just no way.
Hmm. But I
It's
just
no
wanted you
way.
to know that because that's when I look at you, that's what I see. I see you as a vessel of honor. Because I mean, look at what you're doing. Like the fact that you can come out and share this, because not everybody is, like you have to be brave to do this, and only Yah could give you that. And the fact that you're
Yeah.
doing this is very big. It really is.
Hallelujah.
So I want you to know
Hallelujah.
that you are a vessel of honor.
Hallelujah.
I wanted you to know that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you
And I
so
mean,
much.
I'm just grateful. Like I said, I feel honored. I feel honored that you have chosen, to come and share your testimony here. So thank you so much for that because it's all to glorify Yah. But I mean, it's amazing to hear. Like we love to hear, when Yah works in someone's life, and we clearly see it in you. We see it in you. We see it in you.
He's all I know. He's all I got right now. He's all I need.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yes, indeed.
I don't wanna. I don't wanna get to where he judge me and tell me he never knew me
Mm,
because I wanna feel like I want him to be my father.
mm-hmm,
I'm asking you, Yahuwah, to remain to be my father. Don't let me go
mm,
because there's nowhere else to go.
mm,
I've been everywhere, every crick and cranny in this earth that's dead,
mm.
dirty, dusty. I've been there. And
Right.
I've seen some good stuff too. It ain't all been bad.
Right.
So
Right.
since when you done a sin that you don't love sometimes?
Mm,
When you do a sin that you love, it's hard to let it go. I love to smoke drugs. I loved it.
mm. Wow.
I've been homeless. It's just the results of drugs and what
Mm,
it does to your body and but when you doing it, when you first start off, you thinking everything's good,
wow.
it truly took me in some dark places that I didn't have to go, but I had to. I had to for you and you and you. I had to. So you don't have to, you know?
Mm,
And if
that's
you do have to, you know that there is an end to,
right.
there is an end to what Yahuwah has you to go through. There is an end to that. Just don't
Right.
let it be the death of you.
Mm, that's deep.
I'd rather have thanked Yahuwah I didn't die physically But spiritual death, I don't think it's anything more worse than that. Being feeling like you attached from the love of the Father that you had. If you ever had it, whew, some say, you know. And if you ever lose it, if you ever get disconnected and feel like there is no connection between him and you, it's gonna be the worst feeling you ever felt in your life. I'm telling you now, don't do it. You know, just don't do it, because it's had I not been to jail where he could work with me and spark that flame back in me, because it was literally in the blue. It was going out. I
Wow.
felt like it was out already. But the Father can unite any flame
Mm-hmm.
and anybody and anything,
Yes.
you
That is
know. So
the truth.
I just thank him. I feel like praising him, and
Mm.
that's what I do. I
Yes.
I I
Wow.
praise him. I
Hallelujah.
praise him, and I wake up and I praise him.
Mm.
I go to sleep when I'm praising him. I go through the grocery store, I'm praising him. You
Mm.
know,
Yes,
I don't
indeed.
have much, don't need much.
Mm.
Just Yahuwah. That's all I need.
Amazing. Yes. Wow. Oh, this is great. This is great. This was great to hear, and a lot of the advice you shared, it's very profound, very deep. Um, I mean, like I said before, it was very brave of you, and I thank you, and I know Yah's working through you, because it's like how you can just come here and just speak, and speak what He's put on your heart to speak, and this is
Right.
beautiful. This is beautiful. So I thank you. You gave a lot of great advice. I don't know if it's anything else that you would like to share before we end, or I don't know if it's anything else, or do you
Um,
just
I
maybe like.
think that's
Mhm.
one another poem.
Okay, come on.
Okay, let's see if I can find a good one. I only brought 3 tablets down.
Okay.
Uh, let's see here. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's
Mm,
Sister Gabrielle, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I don't know if you recorded or not, but I just want to say how proud I am of Tequila,
Oh.
because I've watched her grow over the 8 years I've been with her, and I can truly say that the Ruach is working through her, and that I really think that she's going to be a great testimony to a lot of people,
Yes.
especially the more they get to know her story. I'm sure she couldn't give you everything, but I'm really
Right.
proud of her.
Right. 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 And it's amazing that Yah has put you in her life. It's amazing. It really is. It's amazing
I
that
just,
he put you two together.
right. And that's funny because everybody said that they were like, there's a reason why y'all put you together. And I
Yes.
couldn't really see it at the time,
can
but
you
I see
see?
it now.
Can you see?
Right. Oh, bless your heart. That's
Mhm.
beautiful. Beautiful.
Okay, I'm gonna give one more for the
Okay.
people who need to come out of drugs,
All
because I
right.
didn't
Let's
touch
go.
too much. I didn't touch too much on that, so I'm gonna do a poem for them.
Okay.
All right. In bed with my addiction. I wake up with you. I have to have you before anything I do. You make love to me, something I love doing with you. You treat me so special as long as I have money to pay. You stay with me at my place. You sleep in my bed. You soothe my whole day. At night I don't pray, because when I do, you walk right away. You feed me you, something I need to stay sane. I can't function till I do you, and I can never do just one. You I can't overcome. This is my addiction. Now that things going numb, starting to be silly, starting to go dumb, starting not to be fun. I'm sleeping in bed with my addiction. Now that I'm done, you keep coming like it's funny. I'm tired and I'm sick, but I can't get over it. It's like I'm seeing you for what you really do. You took my friend's life, missed my rent twice, can't keep a job, can't pray to God. I'm sorry, Yahuwah. I'm sleeping in bed with my addiction. So I'm going to pack my stuff and run. This relationship is over. My feelings are growing colder. I'm getting out of bed and keeping you out my head. I'm sleeping in bed with my addiction. Then you looked at me and said, just do this last one. I hopped back in bed with you, my addiction. It was the last time that night I had died. I couldn't survive that last one. I died in bed with my addiction.
Wow. Deep. That's deep.
Yeah.
Like I said, I mean, make sure that you get this published. And when you do, let us know.
I will.
Oh,
And I have
yes.
a poem for you for your
Okay.
platform, and it's going to be called A Vessel of Honor just for you too. And I'll have it
Okay.
sent to you,
Oh,
okay?
bless your
Just to
heart. All
say
right. That
thank you.
sounds good. Thank you so much, Tequila. And I just thank you for sharing. And like I said, I can't thank you enough. This is just all esteemed to Yah. And like I said before, never forget that he's working. He's actually working in you, and you're a vessel of honor as well. You're included in that. So I want you to
Thank
know
you.
that again.
Do you have any more questions for me?
You kind of shared a lot. I can't think of, and then watch whenever we get off. I'm gonna be like, oh, I could have asked her this, but really, you kind of shared a lot. Shared a lot about the like the different things that you've been through with addiction and stuff. And I guess maybe any advice, maybe if you could share any advice for like I would say new believers or those who straddle in the fence, like if you could share
Yes,
anything
I
for them.
can. Oh, I can really do that. I'm gonna say this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm walking and I'm talking, but I have also just got off the fence myself.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
guess when I got off the fence? I got off the fence right here and right now. Literally.
Well,
And I say that because this was my breakthrough to
mm,
get off the fence. Because now I have to carry what I say.
uh,
So I'm off the fence now, and I thank you for that.
oh,
You know?
all right.
Because I would still be on the fence trying to figure out what I want to do. But the
Mm,
Yahuwah saw different for you to ask me to do my testimony. Took me
mm,
off the fence because now I'm being watched and I cannot let his word go void.
mhm, mhm,
He said his word don't go void, so he didn't put me here to do this, to straddle no fence. So with that
mhm.
being said, I just got off the fence.
All right, and we're gonna be putting it up this week. It
Thank
will
you.
be up. All right. Oh, well, thank you so much, Tequila.
All
We're gonna
right.
keep in touch, of course.
Okay.
All right,
Yes, yes,
sister.
of course. I
All
sent you
right.
my phone number. I would love to be your friend.
Okay, okay, okay. I'll go back and look through all those messages, but I know it's somewhere in there.
Okay.
All right,
I'll send it
sis.
again. You don't have to use
Okay,
it until you're ready. But maybe
okay.
one day we can be friends and meet in person, literally.
Right. Oh, yes, of course, sis, of
Yeah.
course. Oh. All right. Well, that
And I
sounds
love
good.
you and Brother Rasha,
Oh, we love you
my
too.
vessels of honor.
Oh,
My
you
vessels of
ours.
honor.
You're ours. All right, sis. Love you too.
All right.
All right. Talk to you later.
Thank you. Have a
You're welcome.
blessing, okay?
You too.
Bye-bye.